They told you the pyramids were tombs, built with primitive tools, for kings who wanted to be remembered. But that story never made sense, because these structures, perfectly aligned, immovable, eternal, weren't built for death. They were built for transformation, not for the body, but for the soul. And once you understand that, you'll never look at them the same again. The Great Pyramid isn't just massive, it's mathematically impossible by ancient standards. Perfect golden ratios, geometric alignments to the stars, internal chambers positioned with the precision of modern satellites. It wasn't a tomb, it was a machine, a spiritual device, not for worship, for activation, a place designed to shift consciousness, vibrate energy, and unlock something far beyond what we call memory. Every culture that touched the pyramids knew this. They weren't just looking at stone, they were standing inside a code, a blueprint. Each angle, each passageway, each block, encoded with sacred geometry, tuned to celestial frequency. The ancients didn't worship gods like we imagine. They understood laws, cosmic principles encoded in matter. The pyramid was their bridge between the physical and the divine. So why did they lie? Because a humanity that remembers its power can't be ruled. If you knew the pyramids weren't symbols of royalty, but tools for inner resurrection, you'd stop looking for truth in history books and start finding it inside yourself. That's dangerous to systems that profit from your amnesia. Inside the king's chamber, sound behaves differently. Frequencies don't echo, they resonate. Your breath becomes a harmonic key, your thoughts an amplifier. Those who entered in silence often left changed, not because of magic, because of vibration. The pyramids were tuned like instruments, designed to open parts of the human system modern science still can't explain. This wasn't burial, it was rebirth. Every great tradition has stories of resurrection. But what if those weren't metaphors? What if the ancient Egyptians weren't obsessed with death, but with what comes after remembering? The pyramid was a chamber for ego death, for releasing identity, for realigning with source. The sarcophagus wasn't a coffin, it was a cocoon. You didn't enter it to end, you entered it to awaken. And the layout of the pyramid, it mirrors the human body. Spine, heart, crown, as if the structure was a reflection of you. Because it was. The temple was always within. The pyramid was just a reminder, a trigger for the memory already buried in your bones. You didn't come here to learn it. You came here to remember it. They've tried to replicate the pyramids. They've failed. Not because of scale, but because they missed the point. The pyramids weren't built by slaves. They were built by sages, by beings who understood energy, frequency, and intention. And that knowledge wasn't lost. It was hidden. Because when you bury the truth in stone, only those with real eyes will ever see it. Why do you feel something when you look at them? Why do they haunt your dreams? Why do they pull at something deeper than logic? Because your soul has been there, not once, many times, and it recognizes what your mind can't name: a memory, a frequency, a signal calling you back, not to history, but to origin. So the next time you see a pyramid, don't ask who built it, ask why. Don't wonder how it stands, wonder what it holds. Because the truth was never buried, it was encrypted, in geometry, in silence, in shadow. And when you finally remember what it was for, you'll realize you've carried the real structure all along, not in stone, in soul.